So I'm going to show you a technique that we do from the stalemate technique. One of my students had seen this on the internet and they showed it to me. I think it's a great technique. I'm going to try to add my knowledge to it, my expertise to it, to show how I'd probably make it a little bit better. So in this scenario right here, he stabs. I'm able to get a grip on it. I stab, he gets a grip on it, right? The technique I'm going to show in a few seconds, I've rarely pulled off. I've maybe pulled off once or twice in sparring. I think there are better techniques than what I'm going to show you. For example, in this position here, obviously we're going to try to cut each other. We're going to use other techniques. I'm going to go against the thumb, etc., etc. So just keep in mind, like the technique I'm going to show you, I necessarily won't do. I think it's purely circumstantial, right? So again, if we get in this position right here, there are better things that I think each of us can do, all right? But let me show you the technique, and I'm going to add some stuff to kind of clean it up, make it a little bit better. So he stabs, I stab. I'm going to fake or actually maybe go towards his groin. Oliver doesn't like that, so he's going to redirect my arm to the outside, giving me this window of opportunity to step through as if I'm doing a double leg takedown, so to speak, right? So he stabs, I stab, we end up in this position here. I go here, he doesn't like it. He gives me this window, I'm going to step through. So I change levels as if I make a duck under. I shoot in, and I make my shot. So let's change positions right here. Still have that grip there, Oliver. So when I get here, notice that this hand is pressing his weapon hand against his body. I don't want this weapon hand out like here, where I don't really have much control. Now it's strength versus strength, right? And notice I'm stepping through, and I'm coming out of that deadlift or squat position. I'm not using the back of my head like this. I come out of that squat position, and I believe it or not, I'm almost doing like a double leg takedown, where my ear is pressed into his back. I'm trying to look into his spinal cord, and I'm running him forward like this. So human beings suck at lateral footwork. I'm trying to walk forward. So one more time. Stab, stab. I go down here. I make that shot. And again, this has changed views here. I'm not trying to use my head. I'm actually turning directions, breaking that grip, and I'm making my double leg shot, so to speak, in this lateral fashion. All right? So that's one possibility. Again, for me, I wouldn't do this. I've rarely pulled this off. I think there are better options, but I wanted to show the possibilities of how I would probably like try to add more to the technique. And my stunt guys love this technique a lot. So now, if one thing, even if you're not going to use this technique, how would you counter it if it's done to you? So I'm going to show you one possibility. By the way, just giving credit where credit is due, these techniques were shown to me by my past Sifu Larry Hartzell and my past Sifu Professor Salim Masli. Both of them, I think, learned this from Punun Guru Edgar Salite from the Lumiko system. So again, we end up in the stalemate system. He's going to do the technique to me, right? So let's switch places here. He's going to go towards my groin. I give him this opportunity. Before I let him break this grip, I have to know what's going on here. I've been to what's going on. This knee that's closest to Oliver, in this case my left one, is going to drop to the ground. This is done in a dynamic fashion. I'm not going to do this because I don't want to injure my partner's neck. You may have some neck complications. I don't know. I change levels. Now, you can see that my weight's going this way. I don't want my weight to go towards my right. I want to move his weight towards him. All right, so hopefully incentivize him to kind of like keep his weapon away from me. Now I need to break the grip. So I'm going to use my leg in any fashion, whether I'm doing this, whether I'm doing that. I'm trying to go against the thumbs. And again, I'm leaning towards Oliver to again try to motivate him to put his hand kind of that way, away from my body. And then I can make my attack, etc., etc. He goes to stab. Here, he goes to make that shot. I have to change levels right away and watch my balance. I have to break this grip. And then I go and make my escape. So that's the counter to the counter.